Hi, how are you? It's Chris Gio from Merchant Method. Happy New Year. Today is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday and that you were able to find some respite in and around the edges, that you were able to celebrate in any way and in all ways that you do. I myself found the holiday trend reports that I started the first week of December really valuable for myself. They were valuable for my clients, and based on the views, they seemed really valuable to you. And there's so much to talk about on a week by week basis that I didn't want to stop the trend reports once the holidays rolled in and rolled out. So I will be continuing these Tune In Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. So here's what you can expect over the next 4 weeks of trend reports. So if you don't know, I want to share with you that for retailers, the calendar year starts in February. That's our fiscal year. So January falls in the fourth quarter of the year, and fourth quarter is November, December, and January. So there's still so much happening to wrap up the holiday season, and we'll be talking about that over the next 4 weeks. During January, as you know, either as a retailer, a maker, or as a consumer, it's all about clearing out of seasonal merchandise, not just to get rid of merchandise that is not going to make sense in the spring, but also in terms of preparing the store to receive brand new full price merchandise. Over the next 4 weeks, starting with this week, we will be talking about post-holiday selling, planning for the first quarter of 2017, Feb, March, and April. The third week of January, I will do my post-mortem on holiday selling. The early results are in. There are early reads, there's articles about how holiday spending finished compared to forecast. But because our forecast was targeted towards brick and mortars, because we're talking about same-store sales, I want to wait until all of the comp businesses have published and I can see all of the results and digest it for you. And you will still be selling over the next few weeks, and that's still part of Q4. So the third week of January, we'll go over our postmortem on holiday selling. And then our last week of January, we are going to prepare for Valentine's Day. So I already wished you a Happy New Year, and I really hope 2017 is off to an amazing start. But today, Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017, I also want to wish you a happy Holiday Hangover Day. So you may not have heard of Holiday Hangover Day from a retail perspective before, but I'm sure you felt it. And Holiday Hangover Day was coined by an online website called bradsdeals.com. Like Brad has deals and he's giving them to you, bradsdeals.com. And they're an online site that collects and publishes online coupons, promotions, and deals from across the web. And they had been doing this for many, many, many years. And on their 15th year, they had noticed a huge predictable, forecastable, actualized trend on the day that follows the holidays. And so for us, that's today. Because New Year's Day was on a Sunday, the observed New Year's Day, therefore, was on Monday, January 2nd, 2017, making the first day back to work today, the 3rd. And what they noticed was a huge spike in online sales post the holidays. If this sounds familiar, it should be, because that's how Cyber Monday came to be, post-Thanksgiving holiday blues. You had this time off from work. Maybe you celebrated, maybe there was lots of food, maybe there was lots of family, or maybe it was quiet and restful, but then you get back to the office and you're feeling restless. That's what Holiday Hangover Day is. And so a lot like Cyber Monday, which was coined because retailers were seeing a predictable, forecastable peak the Monday after Thanksgiving, a lot like Black Friday deals seeping into Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, and stores opening up their deals earlier, or stores opening up their doors on Thanksgiving. The way that we've seen Cyber Monday extend to Cyber Week, we're going to be hearing a lot more about Holiday Hangover Day, and more deals beyond post-holiday markdowns. So here are the types of products that you're likely to see and that will get a spike in activity. So the first is use of gift cards and gift certificates, right? People buying things for themselves that were on their wish list that they didn't get. And I'm trying to think if I've done that already. Maybe I have. You'll also see a lot of fitness and health related products. Like today I got this in the mail. It's a catalog from Athleta. Because as you know, with the new year comes New Year's resolutions around fitness and health. You'll see a spike in home goods selling, like furniture and linens and bedding. And then, of course, you'll also see a lot of sales volume driven by holiday clearance. So I also got this Harry and David catalog promoting their holiday clearance sale, and it is dated for the postmaster to deliver today. So that's the kind of things that you'll see selling. According to the Washington Post, last year's Holiday Hangover saw a spike of 15% compared to the days surrounding that particular day last year. So it is a noticeable, forecastable, actualized spike in selling. According to the Wall Street Journal, and here's like an early read, Americans are shopping at a rate that we haven't seen since the mid-2000s, which leads me to my next point. And you've heard me say this before, and you'll hear me say it again. I'm just going to tap this on my phone. Holiday selling is not over with the holidays. There is incremental revenue to drive in January. Yes, traffic is slower. It's comparatively slower. December is the highest number of people in your doors to your website. Yes, sales revenue is down, particularly if you are marking down, that compresses it. Yet, those that do come to your store and those that do visit your website are there with intention. And so it's about optimizing, maybe even maximizing every customer interaction that you have. And we know that the conventionality, the conventional wisdom is that when customers walk into your store, they're 80% likely to spend. There is more incremental revenue to drive this month. So here are 3 strategies that I want you to consider employing and deploying in the next 4 weeks. So if you joined me for my trend report the week before the holidays, I talked about helping last minute shoppers. And one of the things that I shared is the importance that gift cards and gift certificates play during the gifting season, trying to help break this conventional misunderstanding that gift cards and gift certificates are throwaway, thoughtless gifts to give. It's what gift givers tend to feel like when they give a gift certificate or a gift card, yet it's one of the most sought after gifts by recipients. So if you were really trying to promote your gift card and gift certificate sales, I for sure would want you to start inviting people back into your store or back onto your website starting today. Make that ask, make that invitation. You'll also want to reach out to your brand lovers and say, hey, did you not get something on your list? Come into the store. We'd love to have and help you. That's an easy thing to do, is to make the ask. And an ask that's beyond, we have markdowns, come on in. There's a variety of reasons why you would want to invite customers back into your door. So do that. Secondly, I really want you to revisit your return or exchange policy. So why do I want you to do that? Why am I asking an independent business to rethink their return and exchange policy? Because I know it's challenging to do that. The reason why is that according to the National Retail Federation, 1 in 10 gifts will be returned or exchanged. That's 10%. 10%. If you think about all that you sold in gifts during November and December, thinking about 10% of that wanting to come back to your store is enough reason to rethink how you might approach that for January. Why? According to the Columbia Dispatch, Return policies are getting looser. When we think about return policies for capital R retailers, 5 years ago and the years following that, they had been getting tighter and tighter. But over the last year or two, return policies have actually been getting looser because retailers know they need to be more customer centric. Retailers know there's so much competition. It's a way for them to remain compelling in a very competitive landscape. So I want you to think about the service and the policies of returns and exchanges as a way to provide and reward customer loyalty, right? So providing a lenient or more lenient exchange or return policy is a way to extend that relationship beyond the transaction. If you were working with first-time customers this holiday season, if you had a very quick, meaningful transaction with a customer that was shopping last minute, it was shorter than you wanted, if you are being gifted, if your item from your store is being gifted to someone who's never been to your store, you can continue to nurture and develop that relationship. And some ways to do that are to think through how you reward loyalty. Maybe you're rewarding loyalty with special discounts. Maybe you're doing it through in-store events or early access to brand new items in the store. But could you also be rewarding loyalty and rewarding brand lovers with a more lenient, extended, exception-based return or exchange policy? So those are some things for you to think about. Some great examples of this are Target and Best Buy. They are extending their return or exchange grace period for people that, like for Best Buy, it's for those that are part of their membership program. And for Target, it's to those that have the Target Red Card. So it's a great way to say, hey, loyal customer that's part of a program or a group that I can nurture, thank you. And we can provide value-added service beyond your transaction. So would you consider an exception-based return policy? Maybe it's based on customer loyalty, purchase history, brand ambassadors or brand supporters, and then think through what time period. If you have a 7-day policy, could it be 14 days? Could it be the whole month? These are things for you to think about. But if you're not in a position to waiver for operating reasons, like you can't afford it, or if for your store, for your brand and for your team, it makes more sense to have a consistent policy versus an exception-based policy, I would encourage you to think through the verbiage. How are you going to talk through this with your customers when your customers are surrounded by retailers whose policies have become more lenient over the years? So think through that. And thirdly, think about your markdowns. So I want you to consider what must be marked down now in order to maintain the integrity of the rest of your full price merchandise, to maintain the integrity of your store and the integrity of your brand. So for me, seeing a full priced dated calendar the 2nd and 3rd week of January just makes me sad. Or seeing a dress that was obviously a New Year's dress still at full price the 4th week of January when they are marked down everywhere else. So remember that product adjacencies have a halo effect. So ask yourself what needs to be remerchandised, marked down, or taken off the floor. I know a lot of small retailers take seasonal merchandise off the floor and put it back on the floor. If you do that, if you don't mark it down and kind of liquidate that inventory and you put it away, think through what needs to be put away now. So those are your simple merchant actions for the week. Start with the momentum of Holiday Hangover Day. Invite your customers and your brand lovers to come back and buy things on their wish list that they didn't get. Invite people to come back in and use their gift cards and gift certificates. Number 2, revisit your return and exchange policy. How can you be lenient or how can you be more customer focused and customer friendly for those that want to come in and exchange and return but can't? And then number 3, think through remerchandising, marking down, or removing inappropriate items off of your sales floor. And I wish you a wonderful week. I will see you next Tuesday, January 10 at the same time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. and I will share with you my top tips for planning the first quarter of 2017. And again, for retailers, that it's February, March, and April. And until then, visit merchantmethod.com and sign up for the newsletter. Thank you so much. Have a good day.